Today we are going to be talking about how we can support linguistic diversity in our classrooms. So a lot of times as teachers, we hear different terms being thrown around when we're talking about students whose first language is not English. So we have ESOL, which is English for speakers of other languages. We have ESL, which is English as a second language. And we also have ELL, which is English language learners. The one that I hear the most in schools is ESL, but I think that ESOL is a more universal term because English is not always their second language. It could be their third language, their fourth language, fifth language, or so on. So some of the challenges that ESOL students face, what are those? There's language, gaps in language and vocabulary. There's limited access to technology, different levels of experience with technology and in school. School infrastructure can impact our learners. Some schools have invested resources, time, and money into their technology and ELL programs, while others have not. And then having students be able to keep up with the pace of the curriculum, learning new technology tools, learning new slang, interacting with their peers can be overwhelming. Some instructional strategies for teachers are using as many mediums as possible to convey your information, slowing down your speech, using shorter sentences, using think alouds and think pair shares when asking questions, give students enough time to process these questions, use pair and group work, use handouts, establish meaningful goals, and apply the content to the real world. Creating a supportive environment for ESOL doesn't happen overnight. Here are some tips to kind of help with that. You can create a language-rich environment where there's reference materials around the room, such as posters, word walls, student work on bulletin boards. Make sure that you are aware of the relationship between a student's native language and English. Simplify your language without dumbing it down. So what I mean by that is just because English is not their first language doesn't mean that you have to take away the richness of your content. You can avoid slang and idiomatic expressions, speak clearly and naturally. Academic language is very important. It's the language that students need to succeed in school. Most students are able to communicate in social settings, but they struggle with that academic language piece. Provide students with frequent opportunities to work together. This promotes peer interaction, which helps the development of language and the learning of concepts and content. Implement an effective correction/feedback policy, and then reach out to your colleagues if you need help or assistance. Some instructional tools that I found are Simple English Wikipedia, Voxy, BrainPop ELL, the Read and Write extension for Google Chrome, and Starfall. My favorite resource here is BrainPop because I think their website is very user-friendly for teachers, students, and parents.